On the news tonight, federal government approves internet facilities in public places. Governor Adeleke calls on philanthropists to lend hands in rebuilding Osun State, while on the foreign scene, Germany ready to send troops to Niger. Good evening, and we're glad to have you join us on the major reports. I am Olubumi Ajiboye Agwola. The federal government has approved the sum of 24.2020 billion naira for the provision of broadband internet connection in schools and airports and marketplaces nationwide. Minister of Communication and Digital Economy Issa Pantami revealed this to journalists after this week's Federal Executive Council meeting chaired by the President. Pantami said the selected local and international airports are drawn from the 6 geopolitical zones, with 3 airports from each on average. The higher institutions of learning and markets that will benefit from 5-month projects are also drawn from the geopolitical zones. He said the broadband infrastructure would ensure connectivity in airports, ease e-learning in schools, and ease mobile transactions in markets to support micro, small, and medium enterprises as the economy goes cashless. He noted that the Nigeria Communication Commission is the implementing institution through the Nigerian Communications Commission. President Muhammadu Buhari has sworn in the former Inspector General of Police, Solomon Arase, as the new chairman of the Police Service Commission. Reports say Arase took his oath of office at the council chamber of the Presidential Villa, Abuja, in the presence of President Muhammadu Buhari, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, the Secretary to the Federation, Boss Mustafa, Chief of Staff to the President, and other members of the Federal Executive Council. This comes 2 months after the Senate confirmed him as the chairperson of the PSC. It will be recalled that President Buhari had forwarded Arase's name to the Senate, asking the upper legislative chamber to confirm him in line with sections 153 and 154, subsections 1 of the Constitution as amended. Arase, age 65, who retired in 2016, was the 18th indigenous Inspector General of Police between April 2015 and June 2016, served in various capacities of the Nigerian Police Force. Governor Ademola Adeleke has called on public-spirited individuals to partner with the state government in key strategic sectors to reposition the state, just as he received medical equipment donated to the state hospital by a non-governmental organization. Government House correspondent Abdurrahim Adekilikun brings details.
Receiving the multi-billion naira worth of medical equipment donated by Shola Agbola Goodwill Ambassador Saga from Canada at the state hospital Ila-Orangun, Osun State Governor Senator Ademola Adeleke commended the founder of the organization, saying charity groups in Europe and America play major roles in the provisions of basic social amenities. Expressing happiness at the development, Senator Adeleke described the event as a major breakthrough between the Canada-based foundation and Osun State government in the area of provision of qualitative Medicare for people of Ila community. He assured the people that the state government will deploy more health workers who will operate the donated equipment to the areas.
We consider introducing a policy framework to provide an enabling environment for the philanthropic groups to thrive. I commend Shola Agbola Goodwill Ambassador Foundation, Saga, for donating some medical equipment free to some state health facilities in Osun State.
Earlier in a speech, the Chief Executive Officer of Shola Agbola Goodwill Ambassador Foundation, Saga, Mr. Shola Agbola, said his foundation has donated medical equipment worth 250 million naira to health facilities spread across the 6 geopolitical zones of Nigeria. He said he lost his father at the age of 13 due to non-availability of tetanus injection at the public hospital, saying that was what motivated him to making medical equipment available for the service of common man and the less privileged.
I lost my own father at the age of 13 because of the poor healthcare system delivering in Nigeria. And because of that, I made it a point of duty that I am actually going to do something to help so that other children will not lose their father the way I did mine. And that is what inspired me, that is what is motivating me to do this.
In their goodwill messages, the Orogun of Ilaoba Wahab Kayode Oyedotun, Archbishop Benjamin Mustafa and Reverend Bumi Jenyo lauded the Foundation for the Humanitarian Job. They described the founder of the NGO as a true nationalist who is not a religious bigot but a kind, loving and peaceful Nigerian. The foundation presented certificates of the equipment to the governor, who also led the guests to commission the donated equipment. It has been Abdurrahim Adekileku reporting.
Road infrastructure is gaining much attention in Osun State since the inception of the administration of Governor Ademola Adeleke. In this special report of the week, Oluchi Amoda takes a look at the phenomenon and its implications on the socio-economic development of the state. Her report.
Infrastructure is a very important public asset. A society relies on a good road system as the basis to access jobs, health care, education, and social connections. It is a crucial element in the development of a community on a localized level and a country's economic growth nationally and globally. Osun State government, under the leadership of Governor Ademola Adeleke, recognized the role good road infrastructure plays in the developmental process of any given place and hit the ground running on assumption of office to revamp the infrastructural deficit in the state. Virtually every senatorial district in the state is feeling the impact of Adeleke administration as various roads projects are rather being completed, especially those that have been abandoned by previous administrations or nearing completion. Engineer Olushola Ajao is the coordinating director, Ministry of Works and Transport. He explained that the massive road projects being embarked upon by Governor Adeleke in every nook and cranny of the state is done in fulfillment of the electoral promises of the governor. Engineer Ajao noted that the ministry employed direct labor from the state, which has not only helped in boosting the financial status of the people, but also helped in building the state's economy.
I tell you, we are all over the state. We have noticed some developments in the state capital, Osogbo, in Ede, Ikirun, Ila, Iwo, Ifle-Ife, all over, Ilesha, all over the state we are there, doing one thing or the other, particularly on road construction. I must tell you that in the last few months, particularly when the new administration came in on board, the administration of Senator Ademola Johnson Adeleke, he had embarked on a number of development that people are clamoring for. Not just doing it, but what the people really need is what we had embarked upon.
These massive road projects have brought so much joy to the people who have continued to shower commendations on the governor for showing them the real meaning of good governance.
Senator Adeleke is a very, very intelligent man. I want to appreciate our governor. God will help him.
I'm feel well. In fact, I'm very happy that our road will be good, better than before. So I'm very happy. I pray for our governor that God will be with them.
Even as many have been commending the governor for a job well done, others have appealed to the governor to also drive the developmental projects to their areas. Such was the case of pedestrians and motorists plying the Ibokun Road through Okebale, Shasha down to Sele bus stop after Osbc, as some of them complained about the deplorable condition of the road. In their separate interviews with Osbc News, Mr. Arogundade Shehu and Mr. Chukwuemeka Agbo pointed out that the shoulders of the road have been washed away by rains, leaving no space for pedestrians to walk on.
The area that can come to for this road is that two vehicles, if it is a lorry and another vehicle, cannot fit to pass from each other in this road.
As you can see, it has been terrible in the past few years, because this is not a matter of days. The road has been like this for the past few years, which is not good at all. Like every day-to-day accident do occur in this road, especially. Is it the motorists, the tippers, like day-to-day accident. The government should help at least to expand this road and make it better, make it look motorable.
Reacting to this, engineer Ajaro assured the people that government presence would be felt on that road soonest.
The Ojoba Okebale road is going to have a full overlay. You know, the Oshoro maintenance agents at different times ensure the maintenance of some of the portions of that road, but we are going to reconstruct some portions to ensure we have adequate drainage in some locations and to have a complete overlay. If you look at it, that road has been completed for a long time, and the thickness wearing course of that road is very thin, so that is the reason why it cannot hold the traffic load that is passing on it.
Speaking in the same vein, the Director of Highways, Ministry of Works and Transport, Engineer Idowu Bello, stated that the ministry is enjoying full and express support of Governor Ademola Adeleke in making life easy for the people through the construction, reconstruction, and rehabilitation of roads across the state. He, however, called for the support of the people in the area of maintenance, especially by putting a stop to indiscriminate dumping of refuse in gutters, culverts, and waterways.
I want to appreciate Governor Adeleke. He said wherever the masses is in need of anything or something is disturbing them in terms of infrastructure, he has given us go ahead before we secure approval. For instance, we have some damage covered, failed ones across the state for years. Immediately he came on board, he told us anywhere they call our attention to any needs like that, we should quickly respond. We need the support of our people too. You get some area, you see some people dumping refuse inside the cover to get it blocked. By the time you know when the rain is falling, there won't be any way for passage of water. The surface of the road will just fill up with flood.
Many have expressed strong conviction that with the rate of development being witnessed in every sector, Osun State is finally on the path of huge economic prosperity, and that in no distance time, the state will be standing shoulder to shoulder among other developed states in the Federation. Oluchi Amuda, Osbc News.
Nigerians have commended the Nigeria Labour Congress for suspending the planned industrial action, which came about as a result of the scarcity of Naira, orchestrated by the Naira redesign policy of the Central Bank of Nigeria. Those who spoke in separate interviews with Osbc News noted that the call for strike is no longer necessary since the CBN is doing the needful by making cash available. Oluwatobiloba Odunoga reports.
The suspension of planned nationwide industrial action by the Nigerian Labour Congress, NLC, on Naira crisis have continued to gather momentum, as many have applauded the courage of the NLC in addressing the crisis, which has been bedeviling the country and its citizenry for months. It will be recalled that the NLC had issued a 7-day ultimatum to the federal government to address petrol and cash scarcity in the country. Speaking on this development, a public affairs commentator, Mr. Yoade Aderinkola, maintained that if the Nigerian Labour Congress can keep up the tempo, it will better the lot of the masses, as this will make great impact in addressing crisis in Nigeria. He added that the NLC ultimatum had given the federal government and the Central Bank of Nigeria the signal to address the crisis, which has inflicted hardship on Nigerians, saying things are getting better as people can now access cash in commercial banks.
To me, it's very good because since the Central Bank, though it is too late before they respond, but their response proved positive, because going to the banks now, easily you will get, not all that easy, but there's money in the circulation now. They have eased the congestion. With the NSC, as they agree to suspend the strike, is very good, because if they continue the strike, they will add more serious problem to the problem in the country.
Also speaking on this development, a banker, Mr. Olumiyiwa Dumoye, said normalcy is gradually returning to the banking sector, adding that people can now access cash in commercial banks and different automated teller machines and even over the counter.
In all sincerity, there is enough positive changes now. As at now, everything has almost normalized. Probably it's as a result of panic withdrawal. I think that's what is happening now. Because the truth is that people have suffered so much in the last 2 months. So everybody wants to feel a taste of that cash. That yes, let me see 100,000 naira, 200,000 naira. So everybody really wants to feel it.
He urged the people to be more patient, adding that in no time, the naira notes will get circulated as expected. Oluwa Tobiloba, Odu Noga, Osbc News.
The President, Christ Apostolic Church Worldwide, Pastor Samuel Oladele, has re-echoed the need for individuals to sow in the vineyard of God for fruitfulness. Pastor Oladele stated this at the commissioning of a multi-million naira Senate building of Joseph Ayo Babalola University, built by Pastor and Deaconess Shegun Fashuyi. Details of the report is presented from our studios.
Christ Apostolic Church Worldwide Pastor Samuel Oladele led an array of clergymen and other dignitaries to Joseph Ayo Babalola University premises for the commissioning of a multi-million naira Senate building built by a philanthropist couple, Pastor and Deaconess Shegun Fashuyi. Addressing the gathering, the President, Christ Apostolic Church Worldwide Pastor Samuel Oladele lauded the gesture of Pastor and Deaconess Fashuyi, which according to him will go a long way in assisting the flow of operation in the citadel of knowledge. Pastor Oladele will saluted the initiative of the philanthropist, encouraged other well-meaning individuals to sow for the Lord. In his sermon titled The Builder and the Building, Pastor Simeon Oladokun stressed the need for everyone to build in the vineyard of God, saying God created man to build and gain souls for him. Professor Olaosebi Kanfa-Kolujo is the Vice Chancellor, Joseph Ayo Babalola University, Ikeji-Arakeji, while speaking appreciated the donor for making the school's dream come to a reality.
Donating this magnificent edifice at this particular time is praiseworthy. The gesture is dear to us as university staff and students. It is our prayer that God in His infinite mercy shall reward your labor of love.
Thanking God and the school authority for the privilege given to him and his wife to build the multi-million naira building for the school in less than 2 years, the donors, Pastor and Deaconess Shegun Fashuyi, explained that God spoke to them to embark on the huge project. Pastor Fashuyi, who is also the vice chairman of the school council, maintained that despite some challenges faced in the course of executing the project, God made his way at ensuring the completion of the project in time.
Anytime God speaks to me like that, and I must do that thing, I must tell somebody very precious to me, so that it is a must. Whatever I will do, that thing must be accomplished.
Highlight of the program were the commissioning and official handing over of the multi-million naira Senate building to the authority of Joseph Ayo Babalola University, Ikeji-Arakeji, and presentation of empowerment tools to some beneficiaries as part of empowerment program of the church.
Parents have been advised to allow their wards exhibit their talents, particularly in the area of sporting activities, to realize their potentials. The proprietor of Damotak International Schools, Mr. Dominic Akitoye, said this at the 3rd annual inter-house sports competition of the school. The report
of inter-house sports competition of Damotak International School was the playing ground of Islauddin Grammar School, Okeoniti, Oshogbo. The third of the annual event, held in order to enable students to realize their potentials, was attended by stakeholders in the education sector. Speaking on the occasion, the proprietor of the school, Mr. Dominic Akintoye, commended the effort of teachers whom he acknowledged for impacting knowledge and skills in the students. He identifies sport as a key area of education through which children can rapidly develop and actualize their potentials. Mr. Akintoye, who acknowledged the supportive role of parents to their wards, also also lauded the pupils for being receptive to learning and instructions. He, however, tasked parents on the need to always allow enabling environment through which their wards can exhibit their God-given talent, particularly in the area of sporting activities, in order to realize their potentials.
To some, the primary focus is academic, which certainly is the only and important aspect in building a student's career. Many forget to recognize the importance of the sport. Today, sport is one of the most recognized and widely acceptable activities in the whole world.
Sporting activities held at the event include 100-meter and 200-meter race, 400-meter race, sack race, as well as bursting of balloon and relay race, in which the invited schools also participated. At the end, Red House won the cup in the overall competition with prizes given to others in order of performance in the presence of the president and members of the National Association of Proprietors of Private Schools, Osun State Chapter, as well as parents and well-wishers, among others.
And now we'll come to our sports segment. Former Manchester United manager Sir Alex Ferguson and erstwhile Arsenal gaffer Arsene Wenger have been inducted into the Premier Hall of Fame. Omotayo Adebodu has the rest of the story.
Sir Alex Ferguson, who is 81 years, is the most successful manager in the Premier League history with a record 13 titles. Wenger won 3 league titles during his 22-year spell in charge of the Gunners. The Frenchman led Arsenal's Invincible to an unbeaten league-winning season in 2003-2004. Ferguson and Wenger are the first 2 managers to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. Ferguson, who managed Manchester United from 1986 until 2013, won 3 league titles in a row on 2 separate occasions. Wenger, who is 73 years, arrived as one of the Premier League's first foreign managers in 1996 and won the league in his first full season at Arsenal. In the meantime, Tottenham Hotspur managing director Fabio Paratici may have to step away from his role after FIFA extended his ban in Italy worldwide. Paratici was given a 30-month ban in January after his former club Juventus were found guilty of false accounting. The 50-year-old was sporting director and managing director at Juventus before joining Tottenham Hotspur in June 2021. Paratici and Juventus have both appealed against the decision, and Paratici's initial ban only applied to Italian football, meaning he was able to continue working at Tottenham. The extension of the ban coincides with Tottenham's search for a new manager following the departure of Antonio Conte. In another development, Spain's world number 1 Carlos Alcaraz defeated America's Tommy Paul in straight sets to reach the quarterfinals of the Miami Open. The 19-year-old U.S. Open champion won 6-4, 6-4 to extend his winning streak to 9 matches. Alcaraz must retain the Miami title in order to stay top of the ATP rankings. He will play another American, Taylor Fritz, in the last 8 after the 9th seed beat Denmark Ugla Ruin 6 the last 4 with a 6-3, 6-2 win against Italy Martina Trevisan. The 10th seed could also achieve the Sunshine Double and take a 12-match unbeaten run into our semi-finals with Jessica Pegula. Omotayo Adebodu reporting for Osbc News.
Over now to Sarah Omidele for some foreign stories.
The German government has paved way for its troops' participation in an European Union military mission in Niger, intending to deploy up to 60 soldiers to the West African country as part of an EU operation designed to support the government in Niamey in the build-up of its forces. The European Union decided to set up a 3-year military mission to Niger with some 50 to 100 European troops at first and up to 300 at a later stage, to help the country improve its logistics and infrastructures. The mission has been plagued by recurring disputes with Mali's ruling military government and an increasing Russian military presence there that has promoted unease in the West. In another development, Sri Lanka's government has announced cutting 4 prices, providing relief for many after a year of shortages and skyrocketing prices amid the country's worst economic crisis. Minister of Power and Energy Kachana Wijeskera said that different categories of petrol and diesel will be sold at prices from 8% to 26% lower. He added that the price reduction is in line with an agreement with the International Monetary Fund, which includes adjusting fuel subsidies and prices based on production costs and global oil prices. Sri Lanka earlier this month secured approval of a $2.9 billion IMF bailout program, a key step in its recovery from a crisis brought on by the pandemic and other troubles. Sarah Omidele, OSBC News.
And that ends the major reports on OSBC TV. It was edited by Michael Adeni. I'm Olubumi Ajiboye Agbola saying good night.